In making my first trip as Secretary of State to Asia, I hope to signal that we need strong partners across the Pacific, just as we need strong partners across the Atlantic.
Secretary of State Clinton delivered the first major speech of her tenure as Secretary of State here in New York at the Asia Society. And it was also a preview of her first trip, which begins on Sunday. She's going to 4 countries in Asia: Indonesia, South Korea, Japan, and China. And this trip will, in a way, set the tone for U.S.-Asian relations for the next several years.
Global solutions are essential to addressing climate change and the need for clean sources of energy.
The point she made very strongly in the speech today was one of partnership, particularly between the United States and China, and very much built around the idea of climate change and what the United States and China need to do together as the world's 2 largest emitters of carbon dioxide to try to stem global warming.
Now, our nation has been the largest historic emitter of greenhouse gases, and we acknowledge that we must lead efforts to cut harmful emissions and build a lower carbon economy. But each of the countries that I'm visiting also have a role to play in this effort. I will press the case for clean energy in both Japan and South Korea and look for ways to work with Indonesia as well.
The Secretary of State didn't break any new ground on the nuclear problem in North Korea. She did warn North Korea, however, that some of its recent provocative statements toward South Korea were a problem. And she sort of held out the promise that if North Korea were to deliver on its pulling back on its nuclear ambitions, that it might someday have a direct engagement with the United States.
Alliances, while developing deeper.
She's trying to maintain a positive tone and start on this trip with a good atmosphere. While most people believe that human rights will be a major part of the Secretary's agenda, she's not expected to bring it up in a very confrontational or forceful way on this first visit.
Too often in the recent past, our government has acted reflexively before considering available facts and evidence or hearing the perspectives of others. But President Obama and I are committed to a foreign policy that is neither impulsive nor ideological, one that values what others have to say. And when we have differences, which we will discuss them frankly and specify those which limit our capacity to cooperate.